Ngeke nixoshe, not manje. Thanks, Deputy Speaker. Thanks very much. The MK Party, of course, we are dealing with this bill as a technical bill to deal with the change in the date that was erroneously put in the bill. But the principal bill, of course, was passed in the previous parliament. And I know that if Mkhonto Sizwe was part of that parliament at that time, we wouldn't have supported this bill. Would have opposed it, and let me explain, provide the reasons why, would explain it. Of course, the bill is long coming. It's been there in the Department of Transport from as far back as 2002. And at that time, I think it aimed to address some of the inefficiencies, some of the pricing issues within the transport sector as a whole. But we know that when the bill was rushed in the last parliament, the purpose was to facilitate the process for the introduction of the private sector participation models in this. In that case, it tries to open up for privatization of key sectors of our transport system. Competition in itself is not a problem, but the conditions under which it happens is one of the major issues that we have to address. One of the critical issues about competition and regulation speaks to the market structure. And I think that when I look at the policies that are governing transport today, we still find it difficult to find a deeper analysis of a suitable market structure that should be introduced. I'll take two industries as example. The taxi industry. The introduction of competition, of course, that's something that was done as far back as 1988, has created a situation where you've got an industry with what we call destructive competition. So currently, all the operators are not making money. Therefore, they're not able to recapitalize themselves. So even if the Department of Transport tries as much as possible, I know Deputy Minister, you spoke about the de-risking in these issues. But as long as taxi operators are not able to operate profitably, they'll never be able to recapitalize themselves. Even if we scrap as many vehicles as possible, but we know that when new vehicles come, the operators are not able to recapitalize. So the notion of a destructive of competition without a proper market structure suitable for that particular sector of the economy will not work. And I think that is one of the mistakes that we're going to repeat in this particular case. The second is the aviation sector, where we've allowed as many airlines from local abroad to flourish. And we are paying the price in sustaining South African Airways. So you could see that if you want to talk about competition and you want to talk about regulations in the transport sector, you have to factor in quite a number of issues. And we don't see that on the policy side from the government. So if we were here, we're not going to support this kind of regulations. We think that, unfortunately now, my chief whip, we are dealing with a technical amendment. So we are not opposed in principle to the technical amendment, but we are opposed to the content because I'm a protected, Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker.
Please proceed, Honourable Member.
So I think the point that we are making is that without a proper market structure, without determining the right kind of competition you require per sector within transport. If you take, for example, the fees in the airports environment, those are decided by a regulatory committee. And that regulatory committee has ensured that AXA is able to utilize these assets quite effectively. The same can be applied with SAA or it can be applied in the other environments.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
So we think
Time
that
has expired.